we're going to be working on our science, not our science, on our math review, correct? So if you are ready, what do you need to have outside right now? What should you have right now? Your math review, correct? And that's it. You should not have anything else on your desk because after we complete our math review, what are we going to do? We're going to do some quizzes, correct? Okay. So if you are online, I'm going to record this part for the math review. All right. And once I'm done with that, I am going to stop the recording and then you can play the math review on your own if you are online. Okay. And the test is when? Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and change the view in our camera. Give me thumbs up if you are ready. Okay, so go ahead and turn on the lights, please. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so the first problem says, okay, it says Ignacio and Elaine read the same book. Ignacio y Elaine leyeron el mismo libro. The shaded part of each model represents the fraction of the book that each student read. La porción sombreada muestra el modelo de fracción del libro que cada estudiante leyó, okay? Which expression can be used to find the difference between the fraction of the book Elaine read and the fraction of the book Ignacio read? So what do you think is going on in this problem, huh? So what do we have to do, guys? Can you get the lights for me if you don't mind? Go ahead, Omar. We are going to find a fraction for each one, right? So how do we do that? Francisco, what do we do? So we're going to count, right? This is our book, and let's count the total number of pieces. We're all looking up here because you should have already done this at home. So everyone who Miss Jackson tells me, if she gives me a thumbs up when she goes by you to see your homework, you don't owe me money. If she does not give me a thumbs up and she give me a thumbs down, you owe me $5 for not having homework, okay? So get your hands out of your paper, please, so that she can see if you worked on your homework or not. So all eyes on me, please. Okay, so let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. All right, so we know that both denominators are going to be what? 20 on both sides, correct? Because we know that they're equally divided, okay? What about Ignacio? What's going to be my fraction for Ignacio? I'm sorry? Excuse me, let me hear him. Yes. Tell me. 16/20. Okay? All right, so let's see if he's right. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's 13. 13/20. Do we all have 13/20? Okay. What about for Elaine? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Is that what you were talking about? Okay. And the problem is telling me what's the key word on how I'm going to solve this problem, guys? Where do you see how many more? So I'm going, yes. What is my key word in this problem, guys? Yes. No, sir. Wait. Don't stop yelling out stuff. He's correct. But in English, what's the key word? How do you know that we're going to subtract? ¿Cómo tú sabes que vamos a restar, Marlon? Okay, so he said he uses context clues. He sees there's a subtraction symbol here that lets you know that this is what you're going to do. But what is my key word? Yes, sir. Difference. Very good. And when we see difference, we know that we're talking about subtraction, okay? So it's important that when you're working out a problem, you observe these words, okay? So we're going to subtract 16/20 minus 13/20. Immediately, I could have gotten rid of how many answers? 3, right? So I could have eliminated 3 possibilities without even having to solve this problem. Which ones were the ones I had to eliminate? Why? Can someone tell me why? Rachel. Because they don't have 20 as a denominator. Excellent. Give yourself a round of applause. That was a hard one, okay? So the answer was H. Excellent. Who got H? Give me a thumbs up if you got H. Excellent. Perfect. All right, let's move on to the next one. Can some Brayden erase my board? All right. Erase my board. All right, so the next problem says Greg assorted his collection of baseball cards. Greg will give 1/5 of his collection to his brother, and Greg will sell 4/10 of his collection to a card shop. So what I do is I write 1/5 brother, okay, and 4/10 card shop, okay. So Greg está mirando sus tarjetas de béisbol, ¿verdad? Él le va a dar 1/5 de su colección a su hermano y va a vender 1/4 de su colección a una tienda de tarjetas de intercambio, ¿verdad? Y dice, which statement is true? ¿Cuál de estas oraciones está correcta? A says, Greg will have exactly half his collection left. Dice que Greg va a tener exactamente la mitad de su colección que solamente va a tener la mitad de su colección. Ok, la B dice, Greg va a vender más de la mitad de su colección. ¿Usted cree que va a vender más de la mitad? Okay. Greg will have less than half of his collection left. Greg va a regalar su colección. Okay. Y dice, la D dice, Greg will give more than half his collection to his brother. Greg va a dar más de la mitad de su colección. ¿Qué usted empezaría para resolver este problema? What did you do to solve this problem? How would you solve it? Francisco. Okay, that's it. You want to come and do that? And tell us how you did that? So, él decidió hacer una recta numérica, okay? So, I'm going to draw the 2 number lines, and then you tell me, okay? Here you go, sir. Did everybody answer this problem the same way? How did you answer it? What did you do to answer it? Okay, what does that mean? Okay, go ahead and explain to me.
So that's how many he gives to his brother. That's how many he's gonna sell.
Okay, but how do you know that your number line is accurate in measurement, though? What about your benchmark fraction paper? Did you use that to answer the problem? Okay, so find it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and find it and then explain to me. This is what I would have done. In order for me to be able to compare 2 fractions that do not have the same denominator, okay, what I would have done was multiply this side by what? 10. Okay, and this side by what? 5. Okay, so that I can have the same denominator so that I can compare fractions, okay? So 5 times 10 is So I see we're having difficulty. So here's the thing, okay? How many zeros is my product going to have? 1. So I'm going to cross it out on both, write my zero, rewrite my 0, rewrite my 0, right? And now all I have to do is multiply 5 times 1, and that is 5. So what's my answer? Is it 100?
No.
Okay, it's 50. All right. All right, what's 1 times 10?
10.
Any number multiplied by 1 is the same number. 1 times 10 is?
10.
Okay. And then 4 times 5? 20. Okay. So the first statement, now that I have two fractions with the same denominator, can I compare? Yes, I can compare, okay? So the first statement says, Greg will have exactly half his collection left. So here's the other part, okay? If I have 50, right? If the total is 50, let's pay attention. If the total is 50, right? Then I know that my total is going to be 50, correct? So he's selling, he will give 10/50th, or right, or 10 out of the 50 cards to his brother, and he will sell 4 out of the 10 cards to his brother, or 20, right? So 10 plus 20 is what? 30, right? So he is going to sell or not have in his possession 30 out of the 50 cards, right? So how many cards is he going to have left? What fraction of the cards will he have left? 20 what? 20/50ths, right? Correct? Okay. So my question to you is, will Greg have exactly half of his collection left? Is that half of 30? Is that half of 50? No, so it cannot be A. Greg will sell more than half his collection to a card shop. Did he sell? Okay, maybe. That's a good answer, okay? C, Greg will have less than half his collection left. Maybe, because I mean, that's what he will have. Greg will have more than half his collection. Greg will give more than half his collection to his brother. Is that true? No. Okay. So let's look at B and C. Okay. Talk with your group and tell me, what do you think is the correct answer and why? Okay. So talking with your group doesn't mean I get to take my pencil and start scribbling on my paper. It means I stop what I'm doing. I look at other people in my group. I make eye contact and I say, what do you think? How did you answer this problem? That's how we work in groups, okay? I got this answer because this is how I worked out my problem, okay? How did you get your answer? En español, trabajar en grupo no es que yo tomo mi lápiz y empiezo a hacer el problema. Significa que voy a mirar las otras personas en mi equipo y le voy a decir, ¿qué sacaste? ¿Cómo obtuviste la contestación? Hago contacto, ojo a ojo, miro, okay? So Jonathan and Martir include Alexander. My friends right here, let's talk together. My friends over there, whether it's in English or Spanish, we need to make some kind of connection to speak together, okay? Say that again. Right here? Yeah. Estrella, you owe me $5, sister. Yeah. After you're done with the discussion. Well, I mean, if I don't do that, he won't be over here.
I know, but it's just so
Yeah.
loud. It's noisy.
All right, so did we come up with an answer? So here's the thing. Tell me one thing that you have to do in order to determine your answer. What's the most important thing? It starts with an R. Yes, sir. No, it doesn't start with an R. Yes. Read. You have to read. So let's look right here, because I'm not going to lie to you. This was a little bit confusing even to me, okay? But I reread it and reread it. How many times do you think I had to read it? But probably 3 times, okay? So let's look at the first statement in B. It says, Greg will sell more than half his collection to a card shop. Okay, now let's look at what he was selling. He was selling 4/10, right? Which is equivalent to 20 over 50. Is that more than half? No. So, estamos mirando, la B dice que Greg vendería más de la mitad de su colección a una tienda de cartas. Miramos aquí que la fracción es 4/10 o 4 décimas. Cuando pudimos obtener el mismo denominador, entendimos que habían 50 cartas y él vendió 20 de las 50 a la tienda. ¿20 es más de la mitad? No. ¿Qué sería la mitad de 50? 25. Por lo tanto, no puede ser la B. Okay? C says, Greg will have less than half his collection left. Ok, para aquellos que no pudieron ver, la mitad, después de yo haber añadido 20 más 10 más 20 era 30, con un denominador de 50, por lo tanto, 50 menos 30, 20 sobre 50. Will Greg will have less than half his collection left. Greg tendrá menos de la mitad de su colección cuando venda todo. So, ¿esta es la mitad? ¿Menos de la mitad? Sí. Porque la mitad sería ¿cuánto? 25. ¿Y cuánto tiene? 20. Por lo tanto, es la C. Okay? All right, Omar, erase my board and be careful with that, okay? All right. All right, next problem. Next problem says, Haley and Wendy painted an entire wall together. So Haley y Wendy pintaron una pared completa juntas, okay? Haley painted 3/7 of the wall, okay? So I would write Haley 3/7, right? And Wendy painted the rest. Which statement is true? So if my denominator is 7, right? Then what is my denominator for Wendy? 7. If Wendy painted 3/7, what would be the rest that Wendy painted? Yes, sir. 4. Why? Okay, but how do I know that it's going to be 7? What would the whole wall be? It would be one whole, right? One whole wall painted, and one whole wall would be equal to 7 over 7 because we've divided it into 7 sections, right? So Haley painted 3/7 of the sections, and Wendy painted 4/7 of the sections. So, la pregunta es, ¿cómo sabemos que la cantidad que Wendy pintó, si Haley pintó 3/7 de la pared, ¿verdad? Sabemos que una pared completa, si fue dividida, el denominador es 7, significa que fue dividida en 7 partes, ¿verdad que sí? Por lo tanto, una pared completa es equivalente a 1, pero la fracción sería 7/7, ¿verdad? So, si Haley pintó 3/7, quiere decir que Wendy pintó 4/7, porque 3 más 4 me da 7, que sería la pared completa, ¿verdad que sí? So, ahora vamos a determinar cuál de estos es correcto, ¿ok? So, we are going to determine which statement is true. A, Haley painted less than half the wall. And Wendy painted more than half the wall. So, vamos a poner un maybe, ¿ok? So, dice, Haley pintó menos de la mitad de la pared y Wendy pintó más de la mitad de la pared. Por ahora, es una posibilidad la contestación, ¿verdad que sí? La B dice, Haley painted more than half the wall and Wendy painted less the wall. Haley pintó más de la mitad y Wendy pintó menos de la mitad. True or false? False. False, right? Because Haley painted less than Wendy. So we know that that cannot be true. C. Each girl painted more than half the wall. C. Cada niña pintó más de la mitad de la pared. True? False. Porque Haley pintó menos que Wendy, ¿verdad que sí? ¿Entendemos esa parte, amiga? Estamos mirando aquí. Each girl painted less than half the wall. Cada niña pintó menos de la mitad de la pared. Is that true? No, because Wendy painted more than Haley, correct? So what is my answer? Es la A. Okay. Brayden, erase my board, please. All right. Martha bought a new box of cereal. Martha compró una caja nueva de cereal, okay? In 1 week, she ate 4/9 of the cereal. En una semana se comió 4/9 del cereal. Which is closest to the fraction of cereal she had left? ¿Cuál de las siguientes es la fracción más cercana a lo que le sobró? So, she ate, okay, so Martha ate 4/9, right? So what would full cereal box, what would be a fraction for a full cereal box? ¿Qué sería una fracción para una caja completa de cereal? What did you say? 9/9. That would be the whole cereal. That would be everything, you know, from top to bottom, full box, okay? So 9/9, amigo, pedimos permiso en la clase para beber agua y usted lo sabe. Okay? So, una caja completa de cereal sería 9/9, ¿verdad que sí? O 1, ¿verdad? Okay. Marta se comió 4/9. ¿Qué sería la porción más cercana? Remember how we talked about estimating, right? Okay, so what do you think is going to be what's left? Left over. What is it? 5/9, right? So would 5/9 be 1/4? Less than 1/4? Would it be less than 1/2? Would it be about 1/2? Or would it be about 1/4? So, 5/9 sería menos de un cuarto. So let's look at this, okay? Let's look at a number line, all right? So this is 1/4. This is 1/2, right? This is 1/4. And this is 1, okay? Can you see that? All right, so then, so each side would be 1/4. This would be 2/4, 3/4, right? And this would be 4/4, so sorry, yeah, okay? So what would be 1/2? 1/2 would be equal to what? To 2/4, right? Okay, so Martha ate 4/9, right? So what would you think? If this was 9/9, okay? And this was, let's say 4/9 was right here. And this is what she has left. Do you think that's close to 1/4 or 1/2? No, we're in the middle class. What do you think it's close to? Yes, 1/2. So my answer is about 1/2. Okay, remember those benchmark fractions? No one has taken out that paper for benchmark fractions, and I continue to say it. Perfect, perfect. Let me give them some money. Because people are actually listening, and I like it when people listen, you know? So what do you think I gave you that benchmark fraction paper so it could go in your folder? No, I gave it to you so you could use it. All right, so Miss Jackson is going to help me cut up some money here real quickly. She doesn't mind, and she will give some of that money to my two friends over there who are actually doing their work, okay? All right, are we ready to move on? So here's the thing, okay? I'm going to move on really quickly, and I'm going to read these to I'm going to go ahead and answer these We're not going to discuss them because I know that you might have had a little bit of difficulty because of the colors on them. So I'm just going to display them both, and we'll work on them both together, okay? So that we can have some time to play quizzes. Okay, do me a favor and erase my board, Omar. All right, so we have 2 problems left, right? This says problem, which fraction does the red arrow likely represent on the number line above? Okay, go ahead and erase that. What's the first thing you should do when you see a number line? What's the first thing I always say you should do? Yes, sir. Fill out the tick marks, right? So if I know that this goes from 0 to 2, what's going to be half of it? 1, okay? If this already says 2/4, what is this going to be? 1/4. And this, 3/4. And 1 would be the same thing as 4/4, right? Okay, so then what do you think this is? This is 1 and 1/4, 1 and 2/4, and 1 and 3/4. And this too would be the same thing as 1 and 4/4. Okay, do we get it? So now let's say that this one is the red one, right? Which fraction does the red arrow likely represent under number line above? I already gave you the answer. What's the answer, guys? C. Would I have been able to get my answer if I didn't fill in my number line? No, I sure wouldn't. So what should you do when you see a number line? Fill out the tick marks. All right, let's go on to the next one. Oh, it's Francisco de la Cruz. Raise your hand. All right, what decimal does the red dot represent on the number line above? This is the red dot. Okay? So if this goes from 118.5 to 119, what do you think this tick mark is? 0.6, and then 118 point, and this is 118.8, and this is 118.9, right? So what was my answer? A. That's it. Simple. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. All right, so now we're going to go ahead. You're going to go ahead and put your test review away, and let's go ahead and transition to our quizzes, all right? So if you are online and you want to participate, what you do is you go to Wednesday, and you are going to go to this Unit 6 fractions, and we are going to get rolling on quizzes. You are going to join. You're going to go to join. So you are going to go to joinmyquiz.com. Joinmyquiz.com, and this is the code 572177. Join, so you will write on the search bar on top, joinmyquiz.com. If you can make sure that they all go to the right place. Joinmyquiz.com and enter the code 572177. 572177. He might need help. 572177. And I'm calling your mom today. All right, so this will conclude our recording for math for today. All right, so